Here's our last harvest from our raised garden bed. The rest of the okra and our butternut squash. And we still left the little sun gold tomatoes. We'll see how much more they produce. Hey, Jeannie and Ron here with Rooted in Love Urban Homestead. We hope you've had a good week. So today we are transitioning our garden from our summer garden to our fall garden. We're going to plant beets and we're going to plant collards. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up with all the latest that's going on here at our urban homestead in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we ready to get started?
Yep.
Let's go. So Ron is going to give us an update on kind of what happened in our summer garden, what did well, what didn't, as we pull it up.
So our beans we planted have grown really well, but they've never made any beans. There's flowers, but they haven't done anything. So I'm just going to pull them all up so we can plant our collards. We had a pretty good little harvest of squash and it's mostly dead, so I'm going to pull it up. The watermelons didn't do anything, they died. The okra has done really well and it's actually still producing, but we're going to go ahead and pull it up too to make way for the collards.
I'm going to miss our okra blooms. They're so gorgeous.
Yeah, we could leave the okra and still get some, but we're kind of had enough okra for 1 year.
Yeah, we're kind of okrad out.
So I'm going to leave the tomatoes for now in the cages.
So here are our lima beans. They really didn't do much, did they, Ron?
No, they didn't. There's a few little tiny pods, but they just haven't done anything. Maybe the bag wasn't the right way to plant them. I don't know. We may try again next year.
So this is as big as our watermelon got. It's cute, but not yummy. So here is what we pulled from the garden. Thank you, plants. We're grateful for the harvest you provided us, and we will compost you so you can help grow more plants. And now we're going to spread the dirt out evenly and pack it down, and then we're going to plant.
So since the dirt has been loosened up and packed down, I'm not going to dig a row. I'm just going to poke these in the dirt alongside of this rake, and I'm just going to estimate 6 inches because, as Jeannie says, it's not rocket science.
And how deep are you planting the seeds? I think it's a
quarter of an inch.
Quarter of an inch?
Yeah,
okay.
So they're not very deep. And this is what the seeds look like.
Oh, they're smaller than I thought they would be. So all of our collards are planted. We planted 3 rows. Normally we'd go ahead and water, but it's supposed to rain a little later here today, and so we're going to let nature do that for us. But if not, we'll water before we go to bed this evening if it hasn't rained. All right, now we're going to plant our beets, and we're going to plant golden beets, and we're going to plant Detroit Red. The Detroit Red are organic and heirloom, and the golden beet is an heirloom as well. And Ron, we're not going to pull up all our tomato plants right now, right?
Yeah, I'm going to leave the cherry tomatoes over here. I've got 2 of those, and I'm going to pull up all of the paste tomatoes and the early dog. So
back to work.
Back to work.
So Ron had those kind of tied up So first thing he did was clip the string so it will be easy to come apart. And the early doll is the only one that had a cage around it. So as you see, there were still some tomatoes producing, but they really never at this point are getting very big or very ripe. So we decided to go ahead and just pull them up and go ahead and get our beets in the ground. Wow. Well, that's interesting.
Okay, that's going to take a little extra work. I'll come back to that. They may all be that way. I bet they are.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to take some work to get roots out of the dirt.
So we'll probably have to do what we did before with the screen.
Yeah. Use the screen and that.
Okay. First thing we're going to do though is get all the plants off. Okay, so our tomato plants are cut down, and as we discovered, we're going to have to sift the dirt. So that's the next step. So this is a good way to reuse the dirt. As you see, it came out in a big block, and so we're going to put it through the screen into the wheelbarrow so we can reuse the dirt and not have to rebuy the dirt. So as you see, Ron is taking the sifted dirt and putting it back into the pots, and then is adding a little bit of fertilizer, and that'll help give the seeds a little boost. All right, so our pots are filled, and we're going to give them a good drink before we plant the seeds. So you can see how dry this dirt is because it doesn't want to sink in. It's just kind of sitting on top. So this one, the one on the end, see the water went down in, but
that was new potting soil.
So that was new. We had -1 pot after we sifted everything, so that's the leftover new potting mix we had. And then you see it's thirsty, so we're just going to let that soak right on in. So these are the red seeds. Let's look. And we're going to plant those in the 3 square pots.
There's the seeds.
There are the seeds. Oh, they're interesting. They have little nubs on them. Cool. So how are you going to plant those?
It says it grows 12 inches apart and then thin them out to 3 inches between plants. So I'm just going to estimate and do about 3 inches apart all over the pot. So put them about
half an inch. Yeah.
And about 3 inches apart.
And as they grow, we can always cull them, the ones if they're too close together. So I think we're going to try to grow some beets in our green stalk here. And I'm going to sow just 1 beet seed per pocket, and we'll see how it goes. So as you see, we've gotten everything taken out of our beds, and the soil refreshed, and the seeds planted. We'd love to hear about your fall garden that you're planting, and we'll keep you updated as to how things are growing. Until next time, may all you do be rooted in love.